Hey, this is Wilson. No Jason Wolf this week, as always. No Galvez either. But I'm joined by my two prestigious co-hosts, Shane Christopher Murray and Jason Big Mitch Mitchell. I apologize for our absence. We have not. This is our first time recording this month. We took Labor Day off, and then we just took the week off for that week. Last week, something came up, and we didn't record. But we're back now, and really, I mean, like I told Shane before we started recording, we're really starting to get into the thick of things because today is September the 19th, and so it, I think training camp starts September the 27th, so that'll be next Tuesday. And in between then, LeBron is going to have his little mini camp, as Shane mentioned, off air. And so we're really getting to the point where, well, the season is, it's September 19th. I think we play the first preseason game on October the 18th or something like that, or that's when preseason starts. So we're getting there now. We're in the.
I believe it's October 3rd, but.
Oh yeah, the season starts October 18th. The first preseason game is going to be October 3rd, right? Okay, so. And then of course there's been some news in Lakerland, some very pertinent news. One bit of news being that the Lakers a couple days ago, they signed. The news broke that there will be that Dennis Schröder will be returning to the club on a 1-year veteran deal. He just got finished playing in that. What is it? The Euro League basket? What do they call it? The tournament that all the guys, Luka and Giannis, all the guys were playing in. No, Schröder is
the Eurobasket.
Eurobasket, right? Yeah, Schröder is from Germany. He's a brother from Germany, but he was playing for his home club. So we'll get into that, and then we'll get into some of the recent reports about what now that we have Schröder, we have this 3-point guard lineup. We'll get into some of the news stories about how the Lakers view Westbrook, Beverly, and Schröder, and how that rotation might look. And then we'll get into episode 7 of the Legacy docuseries, which premiered last night. I watched it this morning. I think the guys watched it last night. So yeah. So we'll get into that, and then maybe I don't know. We'll see what happens at the end. All right. So let's get started with the Schröder thing. Dennis Schröder, as I said, returned to the Lakers on a 1-year, $2.6 million veteran deal. I saw a quote from him where he said that that he knew basically that he and the Lakers have been talking for like a month, and it was just a matter of time. And now I guess the time came. So Dennis Schröder is back, and I guess I'll start with Shane. Shane, what was your initial reaction when you heard the news or learned the news that Dennis Schröder was returning to the Lakers?
On the surface, I hated it. I wasn't a real fan of him asking the man to be a starter, turning out $80 million, and then coming up with a donut in the playoffs. But if you remember, there's like a couple episodes we did, especially the one with Greg Bergman, I was mentioning that I was concerned that on the roster, Darvin Ham didn't really have a player that knew his system or he's familiar with. And Schröder takes care of that because he coached him in Atlanta when he was an assistant with Coach Bud. And if you look at the landscape in terms of free agent available, other than Melo, you can really make an argument that Schröder was the best free agent to have available, but no matter what position. And, the way I'm looking at it, the way they're doing it is they can have their cake and eat it too. Whereas if they trade Westbrook, you have the starting point guard, you have a backup. If you keep Westbrook, but he goes off the rails, you have two guys who can step in. if you send Westbrook home, got two guys you can step in. Or if he stays, you can split them however you want to split them. And technically, Pat Bev, there were some stats that came about where I think he played like 55% of his minutes as a two guard. So technically, he can play off ball somewhat. And, he's going to have to wait and see how Darvingham works it out in training camp. But, I hated
it. Mitch?
First of all, can we have Shane, put himself in landscape instead of portrait?
Shane, come on, man.
I don't know this shit. All right.
Like this, I can't, I just want this to be a good work environment, man. And if he's not in landscape, I can't.
Shane Murray creating a toxic work environment with all these camera difficulties he has every week.
I'm creating a toxic work environment.
Listen, I just want America to see this. Like, this man is 33 years old, people. Look, he's acting like he's 63. He can barely work his camera. I don't understand, man. I don't get it.
Yeah, what's the problem, Shane?
Why are you letting technology get the best of you?
The same way you let the Eagles get the best of your team. It just happens.
Oh, you got me. Oh, you still have to play them twice, so suck it.
Fuck the Eagles. How about that? Eagles know what it is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're all big and bad with Cooper Rush, huh? Yeah. Oh, people are so scared of us. Oh, we're going back to the championship again. We won a game. Well,
hey, Dak will be back soon.
Dak is 0-1.
Dak will be back soon. That's our quarterback.
Dak hasn't won a game all season.
Played one game.
He hasn't won a game.
He's the defending champion.
Champion of getting his dumb ass whooped? What are you talking about? The Cowboys
Mr. I don't go to the Super Bowl. Vikings.
Mr. I.
Anyway, can you get in your Schroeder take, please?
When? Right. Yeah. So shut up and stop distracting me then. What the heck? Anyway.
You want to start it, nigga?
Anyway, man, like I was saying before, I was really, interrupted by Shane's camera faux pas. Let's see. Dennis Schroeder.
Another player Mitchell likes and I hate.
Listen, Dennis Schroeder. The question was, how did you like the move of signing Dennis Schroeder? I love the move. Why? Because we got a guy. Okay, we got a guy that, in the regular season averaged 15 something points, and we got him for $2.64 million. I mean, that's really a steal. In the playoffs, in the playoffs and in the regular season, he's gonna be asked to do a little bit less than what he was up to his, during his first tour of duty with the Lake Show. So I think for $2.64 million and less responsibility with the guy that has the talent that he does, I like the move. I mean, imagine if he was here for $84 million. Now that would be trash. But having him for $2.64 million, I mean, I think that's a steal, basically. If on the low side, he'll do what he does. He'll do what he did, and stink it up in the playoffs or whatever. But hey, he was only worth $2.64 million. I mean, this is all upside. If he does good, then it's like, hey, we only had him for $2.64 million. What? That's crazy. So there's a lot of upside in this move. Obviously, Shane Murray is short-sighted. You can tell by his glasses. He's so short-sighted that he can't see, the upside and the long-term value of this move. Excuse me. I'm talking. I have the floor. It's my turn.
Well, yeah, overruled. So as a Westbrook fan supporter that you claim to be, not concerned about these 3 point guards working together and our lack of size. Just curious.
Are you trying to get into the next topic already? Are you skipping, or are you just asking me that question separately?
I'm asking that question separately.
Okay, since you're asking me that question separately, no. As the Westbrook defender in the city of Los Angeles, there's not many of us. I'm the captain of the fan club, obviously. As the president of the Westbrook fan club, no, I am not concerned. He had a bad year last season. He's going to have a good year this season. He's still one of the top 75 players of all time. A walking triple double. Why would I be concerned about a guy who makes $2.64 million and Patrick Beverly? They can't hold a torch to Russell Westbrook. So no, I am not concerned at all.
Okay. And like Mitch said, let's not jump ahead because we want to get into that further. I just wanted to say that as far as my take on it, I feel like this has been a summer where the Lakers have kind of, it's been like they're trying to revert back to previous roster construction in a way. So with the early move, the move that came, earlier in free agency, the Lonnie Walker, the Troy Brown, the Thomas Bryant, they went from that was the type of team they had in 2020. You had LeBron and AD, and then you had a bunch of role players. But like I said when Matthew Peralta was on here, I think the role players Lakers have now, they're young guys who they haven't really done anything in the league. Really, they really haven't done it. Like they really don't have any merit. Whereas the guys on that team, your Rondos, your Avery Bradleys, your Danny Greens, Dwight, JaVale McGee, KCP. These are all guys who had, a few of those guys, Danny Rondo and JaVale had already been champions. And you had guys who had kind of made a name for themselves in the league, like I said, based on their own merit. And I feel like these young guys, what the Lakers are doing is they're trying to get back to having those type of, that type of team, that type of roster construction. Because, and then with bringing Schroeder back, that's going back to, of course, the 2021 team that I felt like really that was when the year that they, where Pelinka kind of hit his sweet spot. And I really think I've always said, I think that was the team that they should have run it back with that team. And we saw what happened last year. That was just a complete catastrophe. They went from, I thought it, in 2020, they were able to win it because, you have LeBron and AD, and then you have this excellent collection of role players, and everything broke right for them in the bubble. But they needed to upgrade going forward. They knew that. And so I think, like I said, I think they hit the sweet spot the next year with Montrez and Schroeder, but then they broke that team up, and last year's team was just a monstrosity. Now they're trying to reverse course, even going so far as to bring Schroeder back. I like what Mitch said about. He said if we had him for $84 million over 4 years, just famously that was the contract that he turned down, and I felt bad for him because that's life-changing. That's a life-changing extension, and he turned it down. Ended up spending the last, last year what did he make? I mean, was he like was he on? It's going to be his second straight year on a veteran contract, minimum contract or something like that.
I think if not mistaken, I think he got the mid-level exception last year.
Right. So from the mid-level exception to the veteran minimum, after turning down a 4-year, $84 million extension. And so, but I like Schroeder, and my hope for him is that he's able to make some of that money back. And if he can, if we can. After this summer, you got to expect Westbrook. I mean, Westbrook is going to be gone out of the way by next summer. But if we can get Dennis Schroeder back and retain him going forward for, let's say, 4 years, 44 million. After when he's up again this summer, that'll give him an opportunity to make some of that money back, and also happier. I feel better for him for that. And then I feel like the Lakers have a guard who's still, I think he's like 28, still has he has some good years left for sure, and at a nice price, I feel like. And definitely a better price than what they offered him before, as Mitch already alluded to. So, I like the move, and of course, so between Pat Bev and Schroeder, now that's two guys who, like I said, they have some merit on their own, and they join LeBron and AD and Westbrook, and now the question is still all these. To me, the question mark is these other guys. And can they come into their own, and can they be role players who are worthy of playing with a LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Shane Murray? I don't know. Who knows what? I mean, he'll be back, but and we'll see if they're worthy of playing on a team with LeBron and Anthony Davis, and helping the team be a contender next season. As we transition now to the next topic, which Shane already kind of previewed with that question that he had for Mitch. So
he would dip out right before we get into what he wanted to talk about. Technology getting the best of him as usual.
Shane.
Landscape, please.
Sorry, my phone overheated.
Your phone overheated?
How? What are you doing over there? It's the end of summer. What are you doing?
How? Your phone didn't overheat, Shane. That's not what happened. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, they overheated.
What in the world?
Come on, man. Listen, brother, you got the latest. You have the latest iPhone. Ain't no damn way. Can you go into landscape, please? Stop it with this portrait. Man. Your phone over. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? How? What's your screen time look like? What do you like? What? How does your phone overheat?
I had it against my laptop, and I guess my laptop's out. I don't know.
Still has his phone up against his laptop. Oh boy, Shane Murray is as Jason, the great Jason Fisk of Transfiguration and Daniel Murphy fame said once, Shane Murray, priceless. Okay, let's get back. Let's get back into let's get back into the let's get back to the second topic, which is the report changed. So what? Okay, I saw a report that said that the Lakers viewed Pat Bev at this point in his career as a 3-and-D shooting guard. I think
3-and-D wing,
a 3-and-D wing, and they view Westbrook as the starter and Schroeder off the bench, right, and Beverly off the bench, correct?
Well, it's a possibility that one of them could start with Westbrook, just depending on how it looks. But and also, like I said, I think off air that Beverly played 55% of his minutes last year as a 2-guard, and he's out of the 3, he's the best 3-point shooter out of those 3. So technically, you could decide to put Pat Bev, Westbrook together, and then have Schroeder off the bench. Do it that way. But yeah, but also too, they also said Lonnie Walker, Austin Reeves for the 2-guard spot as well. So it all depends on how it works in practice.
Yeah, boy, I zoned out right there. But yeah,
I mean, I was distracted because he keeps moving the angles on his phone. Like, I don't understand. Like,
bruh,
are you holding your phone down?
Yes,
like,
I am.
What's happening over there? What's happening? What are you doing?
Mitch, I
the
told this
production
guy.
value on this show is like Come on, man.
We both showed this man. We both sent him links to holders that he could put his phone on. I showed him.
I told you, I'm still waiting for it to come.
But how long ago did you order it?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Don't do it, brother. Listen, have you? I thought you said you had Amazon Prime.
I do.
Then there's this thing on Prime that's called it's next day. Like, what are you talking about? You're still waiting for it to come.
I ordered.
Let me find out you ordered it from Wish. Yeah, let me find out.
I
man.
ordered what Apto sent me from Walmart. I
out.
ordered it from Walmart. So calm the fuck down. All right, drop my back.
7 L's. 7 L's. No
Whatever,
wonder.
man. Can we continue, please? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, okay, Shay.
I want to. Just keep distracting me. Jesus.
Yeah.
Christmas.
With a problem, huh, Shay? All right.
Yeah,
Mitch,
y'all all right.
Mitch. So how do you? How do you? I mean, I feel basically my thoughts on it. I would go. See, since they said, I mean, to me, I would have gone Westbrook and Beverly in the backcourt together, with Beverly just doing what he does from start to starting the game and ending the game, antagonizing people and getting in people's faces and annoying people, and then of course the front court would be LeBron.
That's
AD.
a small backcourt, though, man.
It's a small backcourt, but I mean, if you really look at and if you look at the alternatives, I mean, you mentioned Austin Reeves. There's Lonnie Walker. There's Troy Brown. I mean, what do we really have to choose from here? That to me, that would. Yeah, go ahead, Mitch.
So, could you see a lineup of Westbrook, Beverly, Reeves, LeBron, AD,
and starting fourth quarters?
Make AD play the 5.
Well, not to start though, probably because do you think there's anybody who can make Anthony Davis play? I think he started at the 5 maybe at certain points in New Orleans, but we know he doesn't. He really just does not. He does not want to play the 5.
Y'all sleeping on Thomas Bryant, man. That's why we got Thomas Bryant.
What is it about some of these?
I'm not sleeping on Thomas Bryant. I'm just hyping up Austin Reeves. There's a difference.
But I'm just saying though, like we got Thomas Bryant, so we could keep AD at the 4. Y'all still trying to go back to him at the 5.
I'm just really excited about how Austin Reeves is going to play, man. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's fine, but
my bad.
We can one up.
There's only 5 spots on the court. That's the thing.
Forget about Thomas Bryant.
Like,
what is it about some of these?
I haven't seen him in a while.
Right, from Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Anthony Davis. Pau Gasol was kind of like that too. I think Gasol didn't really like playing the 5
because the physicality that comes with playing the 5, like because they're all like slender dudes and they have a finesse game. When you play the 5, the 5 look for contact. They look to body you up, and then AD's injury history, he's trying to step away from as much physicality as possible to save his legs.
Well, I mean, he's been getting hurt playing primarily the 4, so maybe he should just sit up to the 5. See how that goes for him.
I mean, personally, I think the 5 is his best position. He should go all the way in the 5, but he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play, so we have to respect that.
He's just ducking Giannis. That's why he doesn't want to play the 4.
Well, I mean, to me, Hakeem Olajuwon wasn't a, if you think about the great power centers, Shaq and Wilt and guys like that, Dwight Howard, Andrew Bynum, guys like that. And there's been just as many guys like Hakeem and David Robinson and guys like that who were, like Shane said, more slender, more agile, more finesse. And they had no problem playing the 5. So I just think it's interesting that there's so many big men who I think part of it too has to do with just feeling like once people call you a center, that it kind of like the connotation of that term center, like it takes away from the like somebody who's like a really like a skilled big man, and has a versatile game. I always think they felt that way. Guys like Duncan and Garnett and guys like that. It's like if they, once they get called centers, it'll like kind of pigeonhole them, and maybe they don't get the credit for the fullness of their games. But I mean, I guess it is what it is. I guess if Tim Duncan didn't want to play center, you know, I guess I mean, I don't know. What am I trying to say? I mean, Anthony Davis is not the player Tim Duncan was, but I guess if it was okay for if Tim Duncan felt like that, and he's one of the top 10 players of all time, in my opinion. I mean, I know you. I mean, I'm not even gonna say in my opinion. I know you guys don't have Tim Duncan in your top 10s. Not to get sidetracked, but come on, Tim Duncan is one of the greatest players of all time.
Well, I'll say this too,
definitely
in
top
terms of
15.
how AD plays defense too. It might take more energy just the way he plays defense as a 5 as opposed to as a 4. Plus, he hasn't really had a consistent big man as a 4 or 5 to Hayward and give him off track a little bit and like take some of the slack off him on defense. Maybe Thomas Bryant can this year, but like Tim Duncan, he had David Robinson. For some years, Elijah One had Otis Thorpe or like some Robert Ory or somebody as a forward that like can help him out on defense. But AD, we kind of look at AD to be to back everybody up on defense, plus score 20 plus points. Playing the 5 like kind of like takes away some of that a little bit. But again, I feel like it's its best position. So
the 5, you think the 5 is AD's best position?
I believe so.
Well, I mean, for sure, it seems like Anthony Davis, without a question. I mean, really, you want your best. I mean, in the modern game, you would want Anthony Davis playing the 5, right. But he's never wanted to do it, and we are getting. I mean, you see what Minnesota's doing now with Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. Maybe that'll start a trend of going back to the time when you had, 2 true big men, Twin Towers even playing together. That's something else I was thinking. I like that trade for Minnesota because
you like the trade?
Yeah, because it's something that nobody else. Let's say you run into a Golden State, right? We know that, like, I mean, who can beat Golden State at Golden State's game? When Golden State's game is the modern game. They basically, in a way, invented the modern game, or like Phoenix.
Yeah, they revolutionized it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Phoenix maybe invented it, but Golden State took it to the next level. And so it's like you're not going to beat Golden State playing Golden State's game, which everybody else, the whole league is trying to copy. So maybe it's smart to do something like Minnesota has done. And it's just, and go back to, like when we were kids and they had Duncan and Robinson, the Spurs did. And it's just something that you're not used to seeing. And maybe it's something with it, if a Golden State or some of the other teams see it, or some of these small ball teams that just, fill up the whole league, they'll be like, what do we do against this? And it's something I think that if Minnesota hadn't done it, I would have been interested to see the Lakers possibly try to get in the because Minnesota didn't have to give up anything really except draft picks to get Gobert. So I would have been really interested to see what would happen with Anthony Davis. Think about that. Anthony Davis and Rudy Gobert defensively, when both Davis can definitely get out on the wings.
Rudy Gobert is overrated.
But he's good at what he does, though. He's not good at what he does, James.
He's really an okay help defender. That's it. You have him, if he plays one-on-one defense, he'll get killed.
Well, who does he have to play one-on-one?
Exactly. By who?
Embiid, AD, whoever you want to throw at him. He'll get murdered one-on-one defense.
But everybody's going to get murdered against guys like that.
I wouldn't say AD. I'll give you Embiid, and I'll give you the Joker.
Jokic, yeah.
Who else?
Whoever you want to throw at him.
That's it. No, that's it.
Anybody he comes against
Like,
one-on-one, he'll get killed.
Like who? I'll give you those two. Joker and Embiid. Definitely. For sure, without a doubt. Who else?
Zubac will kill him.
Zubac.
No.
Oh my God.
Fuck out of here, man.
Zubac will kill
Don't do that.
Shane, why would you go to Zubac?
Don't
What's
do
wrong
that,
with
man.
you, bro? That's the
Don't
first
do
name
that.
that's off your head.
Could you name a center? I was talking about whoever he faced one-on-one, he's not gonna be able to defend. But
So
he wanted to name centers, so I was thinking centers.
So what kind of numbers would Zubac put up against Gobert?
At least
Like
3 and 4.
15 and 15.
Oh, you get I don't know. He might get 14 and 8. 15 and 15. Come on now, brother.
Y'all really hyping up Gobert.
Now you don't like
He's trash and he's soft.
He's trash on offense. Everybody knows that.
He's trash.
He can't put two post moves together. No, listen, he's good on defense. I think we can all. That's what I'm saying about this guy, man. He's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand this man. Like, Rudy Gobert is good defensively.
No, he's not.
Like, there. Oh my gosh.
Like half the time, he can't play in the fourth quarter.
How many defensive players? Doesn't he have like 3 defensive player of the year awards, Shane?
That's the media,
Outside of the top 2 centers,
Kobe only has 1 MVP. You gonna say he's not MVP?
Could you name 5 other centers in the league that could give Gobert buckets consistently?
Embiid? AD?
No. I said no. AD's not a 5. He's a 4. We literally just talked about that. So outside of Embiid and the Joker, which I already gave you, they will give him buckets consistently. I already gave you Joker and Embiid. Outside of those two, who?
Capella.
Did you just say Clint Capella, the master of the screen and roll? Are you kidding?
Yes, I did.
Stop.
Don't be stubborn, Shane.
Clint Capella. Even though I don't like his ass, Phoenix Suns, Andre Ayton. You know I don't like his ass. Cause he trash too. But
I'm a maybe on that one. But okay, that's 1. Clint Capella. No, Cat's a 4.
He plays 5 too.
Cat's a 4.
See, now he plays 5 too. So what you?
My whole point is that
Wiseman.
Shane. Now he says Wiseman.
Oh
my God.
Stop it.
He just has to say something.
You just don't.
I can name more, but you keep trying to change the narrative. Like, oh, he plays 4. Like, have the 4 play 5 too.
I'm saying a guy who is a 5, and like there's no questions, ifs, ands, buts about it. AD, we all know he plays the 4. Him, wanting to be a 4 and only playing the 4. We just talked about that. Cat is the same way. He plays the 4. Like sometimes he will play the 5, but he is primarily a 4. We all know that. Don't play. Go. You have
Christian Woods. Christian Woods.
Okay. All right. Who else?
Like I said, I'm keeping with Zubac.
Zubac averaged like 8 and 6.
So you said hold on. So you said Christian Wood, Zubac, James Wiseman,
Brook Lopez.
Okay, Lopez does get buckets. I'm not going to front on that. I won't front on that.
Don't forget about he used to average 20 points and just strictly a post player. So don't do Brook Lopez.
Why are you yelling at me? I just agree with you.
I'm just saying, you acting like Brook Lopez. Like, nah, nigga, don't even, nah.
I disagreed with you. I just said Brook Lopez does get
buckets. Vucevic in Chicago.
I don't know. I believe Rudy could get the best of him.
Nah, I'm saying, my point is that to me, Shane, you named 3 valid guys, which is Embiid.
I mean, I named more, but he said strictly 5.
Embiid.
No, you didn't. Embiid, Joker, and maybe Brook Lopez, depending on the day, and also depending on if they're playing at home or away. Those are like
if
three
you can play
guys that
defense,
can
you can play
consistently give him
defense.
buckets.
Damn, home or away.
That's Rudy Gobert. You're talking about offense though.
I'm
Brook
saying,
Lopez would
you
have to
saying
be
like
the one giving buckets. Yeah, I mean Brook Lopez he's inconsistent. What do you mean? It's true.
well, that's because he's
Why
strictly
he's not an
shooting threes
all-star
now.
anymore.
So if Brook Lopez
It is what it is.
if Brook Lopez averages 14 points a game, and he plays a 7-game series against Gobert, what is his average going to be against Gobert, Shane?
That depends if Brook mixes it up. Because, like I said, he always does his threes now because of the modern day NBA.
No,
if
Shane,
he
you
goes back
said
to his old game and mix it up, he'll kill Gobert.
Okay, so what would he average against Gobert? You said that he give Gobert buckets. What would he averaged? I think he averaged like 12, 13 now that he's in Milwaukee. He used to average 20 with the Nets. What would he average in a 7-game series against Gobert?
The way he plays now, I'll say at least 15.
That's not really giving buckets though, like that's.
But you gotta keep in mind though, Giannis is the focal point.
But Shane,
Giannis is the focal point. He is a picking order. He barely like the 4th or 5th option.
Shane.
He only shoots threes now because of modern day NBA.
Shane.
He barely takes 5 or 6 shots a game as is.
Shane, he averages like 15 points a game anyway. So if he averages 15 against Gobert is holding him to his average. He's not like he's going off, So to me, you name 3 valid players, which is Embiid, Jokic, and Cat.
Actually, Jason said Jokic. I never said Jokic. He overrated too. But
oh my God! So now, okay,
here we go.
So Clint Capella and Zubac would, but not Jokic. What's wrong with you, Shane? Everything is about your feelings.
I didn't say Jokic would. I'm just saying he overrated.
Oh God! But Shane, my point is that who's nobody's stopping Embiid and Jokic and Cat anyway. So it's like that's like saying,
What the fuck you talking about? Dwight stopped Jokic.
I don't know if he stopped him. I have to go back and look at the numbers.
2020 in the finals or conference finals, Dwight stopped Jokic.
I don't know if he stopped. He frustrated him.
He might have contained him, but I don't know if he stopped him.
Yeah, I don't know about stopping him, but
anyway, my point is that when you have guys like Jokic and Embiid and Cat, those guys are going to get their numbers against anybody. They're great players. That's just like naming some wing defender and saying, "Oh, well, he can't guard LeBron. He can't guard Durant." It's like nobody can guard those guys anyway. So that's not really, I don't think, taking too much away from even the best wing defenders. In the NBA, you can't one-on-one. There's nobody one-on-one in the NBA who can defend the best offensive players in the league and have more. I mean, like I said, you just
not necessarily. It depends on who you're talking about.
I've never known a defensive player in basketball as of all the great defensive players in the history of the game. I've never known a defensive player who, by himself, one-on-one, could stop any great offensive player. Any time that you saw a great offensive player be shut down by a great defensive player,
Ron Artest.
No, Shane, it was a great defensive
player.
Ron
Artest.
Shane, please don't yell, Shane. It was a great defensive player who was backed up by an all-time great defense. So when Kobe got shut down in 2004, that wasn't just Tayshaun Prince. That was one of the greatest team defenses of all time. When Kobe got shut down in 2008, that wasn't.
First of all, Kobe didn't get shut down by Detroit, so let's not go there.
When Kobe got shut down in 2008 against Boston, that wasn't just
Kobe didn't get shut down by Boston. Nobody shuts down Kobe. So
he did get shut down.
He didn't get shut down, bro.
By his standards, I'm saying.
He had a bad game. He didn't get shut down.
That's what he doesn't understand. By Kobe's standards, the Boston Celtics in 2008 did a number on Kobe. It is what it is.
Bro,
we lost.
We ain't going
there. So Shane, so you telling me that Kobe in 2008 he played as well as in the finals? He played as well as he always does. Or usually
No,
does?
but just because he didn't play well don't mean he got shut down.
That's what we're saying.
He didn't play well, though.
Listen, brother.
He just didn't play well.
Stop getting hung up on the terminology. Like I don't understand.
You giving people credit that don't deserve credit like that.
But I'm saying my point is that wasn't just James Posey and Paul Pierce. That was one of the greatest defenses of all time. Team defenses, that Celtics team. LeBron in 07 against the Spurs. The Spurs were always one of the great defensive teams, in the league. So it wasn't just Bruce Bowen. It was everything that he had behind him. So, to me, that's just kind of, it's never just one. It's not like baseball where great pitching beats great. I know Charles Barkley, I think, he used to say this. In baseball, they say, great pitching beats great hitting. But in basketball, great offense beats great defense if you're talking individual, play. So, but I know we're really we're just meandering now. Let's get into episode 7 of Legacy, which, like I said, I they premiere them, I guess, on Sunday night.
Really quick, I just want to hit on one thing about the whole report that the Lakers see Westbrook as a bench player that came out. The report from The Athletic that came out that the Lakers see Russ as a bench player. I hate this narrative that the media is trying to, play up. And Shane Murray, you got guys like Shane Murray eating it up.
No,
man,
don't put me in that.
Hold on.
Don't put me in that.
It's my turn. You got guys like Shane Murray. You got guys like Shane Murray.
Don't put my name in that. Like speak your piece, but don't put my name in that.
Who are so quick to hit that clickbait, like, oh man, I can't believe that the Lakers see him as a bench player. I'm tired of y'all. I'm talking to you, Shane Murray. I'm tired of you and your media buddies trying to perpetrate this narrative about Russell Westbrook. Listen, I'm telling you right here and right now, brother. I'm not going to stand for it anymore. Okay, Russell Westbrook is a great player. And I'm so glad that the report came out today. Ramona Shelburne of ESPN, she said that the Lakers view Russell Westbrook as a starter. He's one of the greatest players in NBA history, and he deserves that respect. Hey, I've had enough of you.
I agree.
And tell your buddies.
Don't bring that at me.
Then go ahead and tell your buddies that they need to show Russell Westbrook
I don't have buddies in the media.
Respect.
I don't fuck with the media.
That's a lie.
You are the media, Shane.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Media.
I'm not the media.
I'm telling you, I've had enough of it, damn it.
Are you telling me I ain't the media?
Yeah, you are.
No, I ain't.
You over here clicking on their articles. You over here perpetrating the narrative just like they are. I'm not. No.
I'm not the one writing the shit. I'm not the one saying it.
No.
Take all that bass off your voice.
No more of it. I won't have it. Not on my watch. Not on my watch, brother. Not today, sir.
Take that with Shams and Mark Stein and Bill Simmons.
Yeah. Go tell your buddies, man. Go, please. Yeah. Tell all your buddies. Please.
They ain't my buddies.
Either way it goes. Hey, Russ, I got your back, bro. Don't trip. # why not?
Shut up.
All right.
Hey, man, Russ gonna have a bounce back here, man. I got your back, Russ. Don't trip.
We'll see.
And fuck you too, Skip Bayless. So. I hear what you're saying.
He did change his shot though, and his shot looks better. So
he changed his shot, Westbrook.
He changed his form.
Oh my Lord! And year what is it? It was like year 15 for Westbrook. He's gonna change his shot.
Hey, Rondo changed his shot. Look what Rondo did for us in the finals. So don't say that.
That's true.
So
Vince Carter all of a sudden magically found his
better late than never.
Jason Kidd magically found a shot in his later years. Yeah, I mean,
better late than never, bro.
But did they change their form though?
They got shooting coaches that helped them put in the reps. And he put it in the reps, and it looks better. So And check out the video. It looked better. And contrary to popular belief, even though he's not quote unquote a shooter, he has like at least 5 game winners in history off jump shots. So we like, you know what I mean? Like we can't sneeze on that.
A lot of Russ's game is definitely predicated off of just his confidence. I think his confidence will be back, just due to the fact that Darvin Ham is the new leader of the team. Little confidence, from the top of the franchise with Genie saying he was the most consistent player last season. I think Russ bounces back next season. Either way, Anto, let's go to the next topic, please.
And I agree with Shaq said. I think he did show LeBron too much respect. Like, be Russ.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He probably did. Yeah, I agree with that too.
But
you gotta play your game. You gotta play your game.
That's what they brought him in for, I thought. But hopefully Darvin Ham encourages him to just be himself. And that's what I like about Kyrie so much is Kyrie was with LeBron, and Kyrie didn't change his game at all to accommodate LeBron. He just played his game, and that's why it worked so well, And so I want to see Westbrook. It's like Westbrook. You're the one with the ball, bro. It's the ball starts off with you in your hands. So,
as far like the regular season when Dennis Schroeder came in, and during his first tour duty, he didn't back down from LeBron. And he had a fantastic regular season because he didn't back down from LeBron. So I think, yeah, man, you just gotta, be confident in yourself and your abilities, and do what you do. You're top 75 for a reason, man.
Oh yeah. Before we move on, your thoughts on what I said in the chat.
What?
Who are you talking to?
Both of y'all about Crowder.
I forgot. I don't think I saw what you said in the chat about Crowder. I know you said off air that you didn't like him before we started recording.
I said in the chat, bet money we trade for him.
Who'd you say we would give up?
I said probably Kendrick Nunn.
Bye. I would gladly give up Kendrick Nunn for a guy like Jay Crowder.
I said bet money because he has an expiring contract. As long as he don't make I don't know how much he make, but I don't.
Jay Crowder is exactly the kind of guy that we need. And to give up a guy like Kendrick Nunn who hasn't even played a game for us, if we pull that off, pat on the back to us for sure. A move like that might get Rob Pelinka back in my good graces.
Oh Lord, now you Rob Hayden now.
All right.
Got a lot to prove still.
Now that Shane has been properly straightened by Mitch,
my nigga.
Shane, please. Now
lost your mind. I don't get straightened out by nobody.
Let's go to episode. Let's get into episode 7 of our Legacy. So since the last time we recorded, I think so. We didn't. So the episode 5 that was the Nick and Eddie.
I can't. What is this angle? Stop it! Stop this,
bruh!
Stop it!
Stop what?
Hold it right. What is
Dog,
this angle?
Can you stop interrupting us?
I'm sorry. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm so sorry. This is a bad angle for Shane Murray. I don't know why he insists on giving you this particular angle, but it is what it is. Oh, there he goes back in the portrait. Oh my God, Lord have mercy.
Come on, man.
Christmas.
That's so extra.
Man. My goodness,
that's so extra.
I just don't understand.
Yeah, I've been watching in gallery view, so I haven't been able to see what shenanigans he's been performing with the camera this week. I guess it seemed like it's even worse than last week. It's every other week, I should say.
This is every week. I'm glad that everybody else can see it like the whole time now too. Like this is what I've been watching it in gallery view the whole time, so I can see it, and he like distracts me, and he just ruins my whole train of thought. I can't even like look at him.
Blah,
Cutting off his whole forehead.
nigga.
Jesus Christmas. Like back
So
up. Like I don't understand. Are you singing a song now? Phil Bob featuring Sierra. Oh my gosh, Lord have mercy. Man, you are 63 years old. Stop it.
So
all right. Let's get into
you so old. The text on your phone is probably huge, huh?
No, it's not actually. But nice try though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No weird. Sorry.
Shane's keyboard is an old English, like what Shakespeare and them used to write in. That's all right. Sorry, Shane. Man. Okay, so let's get into episode 7 of Legacy, which like I said, yeah. So I was saying that. So since the last time we recorded, episode 5, that was a Nick and Eddie episode. Vladi, where it became their team. So that's after Magic retires. For due to of course the HIV, and then we go into the so-called Lakeshore era with Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Vladi. Seth Sabas was on that team, but I don't think Seth was in the documentary, the docu-series. Of course, you had other guys like Corey Blunt, on those teams, different guys like Eldon Campbell, and then look, so last week's episode, that was the start of the Shaq Kobe era, and it ended with us winning the first of the three-peat titles. My favorite part was at the end when Jim Hill is talking to Dr. Buss, and Jim Hill goes, well, Shaq says you guys are going to win it again next year, and Dr. Buss goes, well, if Shaq says we're going to win it again, then who am I to tell him we're not? Let's go, Shaq, let's do it. That was just so heartwarming to me, and I tweeted, it brought back so many fond memories, because when we first started winning titles, we were all born in 80, we're all basically born between 87 and 89, and we're all 33, 34 years old, the three of us, and so we don't remember Showtime. So when Shaq and Kobe started winning titles, that was really our introduction to the Lakers as a dynastic team. And when they first started winning titles with Shaq and Kobe, man, Shaq was 28, so he was just at the start of his real prime, his peak. Kobe was only 21, and it's so that one, and especially the second one, which when we people don't remember that 2001 team, which we ended that season in 2001. We won the last 8 games of 2001. We went 15-1 in the playoffs, and if you remember, the next season we started 16-1. So we went 39-2 over a 41 game stretch from the end of 2001 to the start of 2002. And when we won that second one for sure, after going 15-1 in the playoffs, it seemed like we were going to win like 8 or 10 straight championships. Like people were literally looking back on this, like, well, we know it doesn't work like that. And it didn't work like that. But that's how good those teams were, with Shaq as this dominant force and Kobe as this young, superstar, the closest thing we had seen to Jordan since Jordan, and the collection of role players, and of course the great Phil Jackson, who was introduced, in the docuseries in episode 6. And it just seemed like it was going to go on and on and on and on and on. And of course, it didn't happen. We won 3 straight. And then by the end of the, after the 2004 season, and all the drama that went on, it was over. And we rebuilt around Kobe. And that was on episode 7. It concluded with Shaq being traded to Miami. and the Lakers, kind of starting anew behind Kobe. Phil Jackson being let go at the end of the 2004 season, and so going into the next week, we know what to expect, which is if Phil comes right back after one season away, and then we'll see. They'll go into that. They'll go into the Gasol years, then the down years, and then finally, I guess they'll conclude with LeBron and AD. But so I guess episodes 5, 6, and 7. Since, like I said, we didn't record those weeks. You guys' thoughts? I guess I'll start with Shane. Your thoughts on those 3 episodes, or any episodes you want to talk about?
Well, one of the things that jumped out at me was I knew Phil and Jerry West had something going on, but I had no idea like the beef was that deep. For him to be like to tell Jerry West, get the fuck out of my locker room, like, huh? So that got me to thinking to ask y'all this. I was gonna ask I was gonna ask y'all because that was Phil Jackson technically like the only time really where he went out of quote unquote family and hired somebody. Do y'all think like that's the reason why they strictly keep it in family now? Because there was so much tension around Phil as far as him dating Jeannie, to how Jerry Buss saw Phil Jackson and all that. But yeah, that's what jumped out at me. Of course, we have to relive how Kobe and Shaq broke up and the scandal Kobe was in and all that. But besides that, I loved the Lake Show one. We like they showed up Nick and Eddie. I would like them to get into how they traded Nick and Eddie, specifically Eddie, for Glenn Rice, and how that came about, and to get the real story as far as Nick being traded, because it's more like an urban legend type thing of why he got traded. But and that's like just brought back a lot of memories of just watching everything go down once they three-peated.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's definitely, as they say, it's been kind of like truncated the story for time purposes. I guess they feel like they couldn't cover every single detail of everything. For like Nick being traded and Eddie being traded, they kind of just skipped over. They never really even mentioned the parts where those guys got traded. It just kind of went from there
straight into it, yeah.
To Phil being there, and then
straight into Phil, yeah.
Yeah, he never mentioned that Nick and Eddie were gone. So,
and those were big moves in terms of Kobe, because that freed up Kobe to be Kobe.
Yes, indeed.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I was in my living room, like, hey, I thought we were going to mention them getting traded, but yeah, I just skipped right over it, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, but Shane, to answer your question, yes, the Phil and Jerry West thing to me was always well documented. I've read all the books. I've read Shaq Talks Back, Phil Jackson's book, The Last Season, Mark Heisler's book, which is one of maybe my favorite basketball book ever, his Mad Men's Basketball and the History of the Lakers. And I was just at that time, man, I was just obsessed with the Lakers. So I know all that's all that stuff. And I tweeted today, that I've always loved Phil Jackson, but one thing that I've always hated was how he treated Jerry West. And if you guys remember when Dr. Buss died, and Jerry gets up there, he gives his speech, and Phil comes after, he speaks after Jerry. And the first thing Phil does is take a shot. He takes a shot at Jerry. He says something about Jerry being more verbal up there than he was when they worked together or something like that. But I think Phil Jackson, to me, he comes, he's already won 6 championships in Chicago, and he comes and he comes to the Lakers, and they've had this team, with these two young stars have been able to get over the hump. and he comes in and he's Phil Jackson, and he's Phil Jackson. It's like the same way that Jeannie Buss talks about. I mean, I can't say the same way, but the way that Jeannie said when she said that when she first met Phil, how like she heard his voice and she was just like, wow, right? It's like when we were at Transfig, Mitch, and you remember how guys used to call me Phil and stuff like that because I would do all the freaking the fake triangle and the fake whistling and stuff like that. Because the first time I saw Phil Jackson when he was at that press conference when the Lakers introduced him, I think that because that first year he still had the hair that sometimes was kind of wild and blown out. And I really looking at Phil Jackson like, look at this guy. I've never seen anybody like this before in my life. He made such an impression on me as a young 11-year-old kid. And so he just has that presence about him, and he had already been so successful, and he's just not the type of head coach that what Jerry West was used to coming around and being in the practices and being in the locker room and stuff like that. Phil Jackson's like, bro, I'm Phil Jackson. I coached Michael Jordan. We won 6 championships. I don't need you in my locker room, And it's like I feel like that's what it was, but I feel like he could have gone about it a different way instead of Jerry West, who was already kind of sensitive and dealing with anxiety and stuff like that and having the problems he was having. He comes in the room and basically Phil just humiliates him and tells him to get the F out of his locker room.
Emasculates him and the whole team.
Right. Like, why you got to do the great Jerry West like that? So that's really the one thing. I mean, Phil always, I love Phil, but he's always had, little funny ways, the way that he would, deal with people, And so that's something that Phil did that, I didn't really respect that. But overall, I mean, I love Phil Jackson so much, like I said on Twitter also. He's like my white father too, Shaq.
And
I love
you don't know why Shaq don't like Mitch?
I guess it's just because Mitch was the GM when Shaq got traded, I guess. But I thought that was interesting.
No, I think it was even like more like before that. But I don't even know if it was really like a hate, like he hated Mitch. I think it was more just like he was just so loyal to Jerry West because Jerry West was the whole reason that Shaq came in the first place, like you said. So I think it was just more of a loyalty than a hatred.
Yeah, and
himself.
I wonder if Jerry West would have, because remember Jerry West when the Lakers wanted to trade James Worthy back in the 80s, Jerry West threatened to quit if they pulled that trade off. So they didn't. He had that type of cachet with Jerry West. And I wonder if Jerry West, with the relationship that he had with Shaq, who knows if Jerry West had still been the general manager, if Shaquille would have ever been traded, we might have just run that whole that era out and see how it finished. And who knows? But the thing about it is they really had at that point, it had come down to Shaq and Kobe. So they did have to take it. I really don't think it was like he tried to say in the documentary that it was because Shaq didn't want to take less money. After what Shaq had done for them in those 5 years under Phil Jackson, I really don't think that money was the issue. It wasn't an issue.
No, but he said it though. He said it though.
Shaq said it out his own mouth, but that doesn't.
I mean, Shaq, it was part of it. I don't doubt that the money was part of it for sure, but like the relationship by that point was just, I mean.
And they skipped over.
It was unsalvageable.
They skipped over the fact that it didn't just start. And it's like I said, they're kind of speeding through some of this stuff. So it didn't. The Shaq Kobe thing, it kind of started as soon as they got there to the Lakers together. It was already like this tension that existed because Shaq is on, and everywhere Shaq is gone. Let's face it, Shaq had at least his first 3 stops for sure. Shaq had problems with Penny. Shaq had problems with Kobe. I guess he didn't really have any problems with D Wade, but by the time he got with D Wade, Shaq was kind of coming down. But he definitely had problems with Penny.
He had those problems. He had those problems with D Wade too towards the end.
Yeah, right. And they just kind of, it never blew up. I guess between them. But with Shaq and Kobe, it always existed. And then it first blew up in 2001 when Kobe came back out of after that first championship, and he had worked so hard on his game. And that first year, Phil wanted Kobe to play the Scottie Pippen role. And they win the championship, and he comes back the next year, and Phil expects the same thing. And Kobe's like, well, no. Like, I've worked so hard on my game, and I want people to see how much I improved. I don't want to just be a secondary scoring option, and a primary playmaker and a primary defender. And that was when, and they come out that year and they kind of struggle out the gate. And that was when it first started, because Kobe had changed. In that year, Shaq averaged 28.7, Kobe averaged 28.5. The year before, Kobe had averaged 22.5. So Kobe was, had changed, and he was playing differently than he had played the year before, and they weren't having as much success early on. And that's when it first blew up. And then, of course, they go into the playoffs. They walk through the playoffs. They end up three-peating. And then 2003 comes, and that summer, that was when it, like that final blow up that led to what happened the summer after that, with the whole, sexual assault thing, and Kobe talking to police. And, it's been so long now. No, I think that Shaq had said some, I think they covered in the episode, Shaq saying some things about, maybe Kobe can, while he's still getting himself in shape, he can, be a little bit, he can pass the ball more. And Kobe goes, well, he doesn't need to tell me how to play my game. And that was I guess that was even bigger than 2001 as far as the blow-ups. Yeah.
The whole out of shape thing was Kobe's dig to Shaq, because, listen, it's no secret. Shaq came into camp fat and out of shape. He did. It's true.
He did. He needed to get in shape.
Huh?
He didn't need to get in shape of who he was.
Did you just say that he didn't need to be in shape?
No, because he was facing nobody as a center position was stopping Shaq, big, small, or indifferent. So he figured he could play his way into shape.
You need to stop talking right now. You just said that an NBA player can just stop it.
The way Shaq plays and the way that hair was going, he didn't need to get in shape. He needed to come in shape.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No. Shaq needed to be in shape. There's a difference with how he came into camp with the Lakers, and then that first year with Miami.
Yeah, definitely.
Like night and day. And he had such a good year that first year with the Heat, and now, obviously end up winning the championship. Like, that's the difference when you come into camp motivated, in shape. That's the difference. You win championships. Like, there's no way around. Stop. Just stop. Can you put your phone back? Like, how am I supposed to talk to you?
It's amazing that
can you stop?
It's amazing that Shane does not understand. It's like Shane doesn't understand that it's important that your camera just sits in one place and you just sit back and talk. Shane's like, well, what difference does it make if I hold the camera while I'm live recording on the podcast? Like, Shane, it matters, man. Come on, bro. The whole presentation.
It's like, listen, bro. It's like.
Now what are we doing?
And it's like, so it's like me looking at the camera. It's like I'm like, yo, back up. I'm not a close talker. Like I believe in your personal bubble, and the
Get
fact
this man
that
some
you have your
space,
camera so close. The fact that you have your camera so close, it feels like I'm talking to you like right in your damn face. Like stop it. I don't want to talk that close to you.
Oh, motherfucking stop.
Man. Yeah, I should. You're right. Because you know what, Shane? You're an enigma. God put you here to test me. But you're not going to break me, Shane Murray. No.
Anyway.
Oh, stop.
Yes. That first year Miami, Shaq had a point to prove. Plus, he was older, so he can't can't keep those 20, 30 pounds on when you're older. Those 3 championships when he came in out of shape, he was averaging 30. He didn't need to. Kobe's different. Their personalities clash. That's what happens.
Because he came into camp fat and out of shape, it comes off like you don't care. That's why they clash.
He does, but because of who he is and how he played and who his competition was, he didn't. In his mind, he didn't need to come in shape.
Why are you for being lazy?
Why? What?
Why are you excuses lazy?
I'm not making excuses with Shaq. I'm saying what it is. Like, you really need to get in shape to go against Vladdy. You really need to get in shape to go against Arvidas Sabonis. You need to get in
shape. You like what you're not.
Hold on, guys. There's some audio difficulty going on. Can everybody be still? Okay. Now, Mitch, can you continue?
Listen, you're not saying what it is because, obviously, so watching the documentary, it made me want to watch. They didn't dive they dived pretty deep into into their feud, but, watching the documentary. So like I was telling y'all, in our group chat or whatever, like watching, them cover the feud in the documentary, you get interviews from Devin George, you get an interview from Rick Fox, you even get an interview from damn Luke Walton, like a rookie at that point, but you don't get an interview straight from Shaq himself.
Hey, so Shaq didn't want to talk about it.
Let me finish. It's my turn. Always trying to throw off my train of thought, man. Jesus Christmas, what's wrong with you? Who made you like this? Who hurt you? So I'm wondering if that was just like I'm wondering if that was a conscious decision, by the editors and by the director to not show about the feud. I'm wondering if it was because Kobe isn't here to obviously give his side from today's point of view, but obviously there's been so much talk about Shaq and Kobe and their feud and everything like that, and they had their one-on-one interview on TNT for Players Only. So I went back and I rewatched it, and Shaq, he's spoken on it before, and he spoke to Kobe to his face about it. So it wouldn't make sense to me that he wouldn't want to speak about it again and just kind of go back with the things that he had said before to Kobe's face.
Shane, you said something in the group chat.
It is what it is.
I saw it, but I didn't get the full context of it. You said something about Shaq being a cop, and maybe that's why he wouldn't want to talk about something. What were you referring
to? He's now
making no sense as usual.
On Miami, huh? So what's that? No, Shaq actually spends time as a cop. It's more like a part-time casino type of thing. Like in Miami, he actually got sworn in as a cop. I know what capacity, but he's actually been on duty as a cop in LA and Miami and certain areas.
So what? So why that would make him not want to talk about what?
The whole thing because Mr. was talking about how Kobe mentioned his name to the cops.
Oh.
What's the rule? What's the rule that he wouldn't be able to talk about it, him being a cop? What's the rule?
I don't know necessarily the rule, but I'm saying with him being who he is as a cop, he may not want to get into all that, all the things that we said. Plus in the hood.
So you making stuff up? Got
no,
it.
I'm not making stuff up.
I mean, Shane acts like Shaq is like working the patrol like late night.
He was though. He actually worked patrol,
pulling people over and reading them their rights.
He's actually done that, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell
Stop.
you. He's
Stop.
actually done that.
Stop
it was
it.
more like for show, I think, though, Shane.
Stop it.
No, bro, he's
Stop
actually
it.
done that. He might have just had a joke, but he actually has a bag.
I'm about to leave. I'm about to leave, man. You think
Dog.
Shaq? You think Shaq's big ass was out here giving people tickets?
Dog, you think
Working the beat? Are you kidding me?
he has
That's what
done
you
that
think?
before? I don't know why he has done that before.
Come on,
Maybe
I
a
don't know
couple
why you
times,
ain't
Shane,
you don't
but-
know this.
You act like
He has
he's like
done
really
that
a
before.
part of the like, but he has a
I
career
know
in the
that
police
Shaq was
force.
sworn in. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What are you talking about? That was so. Come on, man. You're better than this.
Dog,
I really want to believe that you're better than this. Please don't do this. Don't do this. Please stop. Don't stop, man. You gotta. I know you're better than this, man. Please, you cannot believe that. You can't believe. Come on, you cannot believe that Shaq was just walking the beat. Oh, hey, you're jaywalking. Let me give you a
Dog,
ticket.
you remember when
Is
he
that
when
what
he
you think?
saved when he saved that girl from the car crash? Y'all remember that?
Uh-huh. Okay, what's your point?
He was
Or do you have one?
the beat at the time.
Shane acts
I
like
hate it
Shaq
here.
is, Mark Furman,
I
or I'm
hate
trying
it
to
here.
think of some of these like a serious,
Bernard Park.
Yeah,
Oh,
come
don't
on,
back
don't
in the
sit there like
day,
Shaq is just a basketball player, man. You know, Shaq got a PhD. He got his master's now.
God.
Like don't say like Shaq is different
Christmas.
shit.
You stop it. You know it's honorary, right? You know he paid.
Honorary
you know
or
he
not, a
paid for that,
PhD
right?
is still PhD.
No, it's stop it. He didn't study for it. He paid for it. I'm sorry, Shaq. I'm sorry to put your business up there, but Box, you know you paid for it. You got Shane Marie out here believing you really a damn doctor. Just because he wears glasses does not mean he's a doctor, Shane. I'm here to tell you.
Oh
It's
God.
honorary. It's an honorary degree, sir. Honorary.
Honorary or not, a degree is a degree.
Oh, 7L.
You know what, man? I think we're like 90 minutes in or something already. I think I'm gonna call it, man. Because this is just Shane Murray having another one of those Shane Murray nights.
No, y'all just bugging.
All
That's
right,
all
look,
it is. Y'all just bugging.
Mitch, you got anything you want to say before I give the outro?
Yeah, man. I know, like we have been mentioning, we've been watching the documentary and everything like that. Your boy Herbert, who just got married, clap it up for him. Shout out to Elisa as well. He's been watching the documentary. He really wanted to come on the show and, give his thoughts on the documentary. Unfortunately, I hate Herbert. I'm so glad we ran out of time today. Sorry, not sorry, Herbert. We're out of time. You can't give your 2 cents. Suck it. But also, congrats on getting married.
Did you go to the wedding? Of course, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was a wedding party.
Okay. All right. So yeah, congratulations to our friend Herbert Asagata on his union, and I hope it lasts many years. And I hope their first child is a masculine child. All righty then. All right. So before we get out of here, just a few reminders. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button next to the Complete Lakers podcast. If you prefer the audio version, remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts. The show is also on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and every other major podcatcher. Make sure to follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at TC Pod Network and to like it on Facebook. Just search for the Complete Lakers podcast. And finally, send feedback and mailback questions to CompleteLakersPodcast@gmail.com. We are out.